Hi guys, second game down now for Mamemeister's High Score Kerfuffle Season 9, and for the past 2 weeks we've been playing Clacks, a puzzle game released by Atari in 1990. Puzzle games are always a bit polarising, but as most of you know, I'm a big fan. The concept is fairly simple, whereby coloured tiles move down the screen before you need to catch them and then deposit them in one of 5 columns. The aim is then to trigger as many lines of matching colours, either vertical, horizontal or diagonal. The more and longer the matches, the more points you score. Each level has a different requirement to clear it, and the difficulty quickly ramps up. The name of the game actually comes from the sound that the tiles make as they tumble down the screen towards you. The ramping up difficulty is probably my biggest gripe with the game. I didn't once complete the 5th tile wave, where you need to clear 40 tiles to complete the level. I just found catching all the tiles too difficult, so I focused on maximising the scoring up until that point. It is possible to score around 500,000 points on each screen, so getting the first few waves right is key to success. I stream the game on my Twitch, and what you can see here is my best scoring run from that stream. The best tactic for big points is to go for a T shape, with the final tile completing the intersection. Either side of the T, you can stack up 2 above and 2 below the T, so that when the T clears, the stacks of 4 match up. Doing this yields 265,000 points. To score more, you have a window to drop another block after completing the T. If that final block then adds additional matches, you can score more, with the most coming for 4 of the 5 columns being the same colour and the final block triggering an additional 4 across and 2 diagonals. Even on the diagonal wave, you can squeeze one of these out and then hit a few diagonals to complete the wave. I think I mentioned last time that Clacks came out on pretty much every system. Charlie Farr said he had zero intention of playing Clacks, but I did manage to get him to try the Sam Coope version. The fact that there is a Sam Coope version tells you just how widespread the ports were. So with another game down, let's take a look at the scores. I've had 16 scores sent to me, which is everyone from last time except Ian, who chose to sit out. At the bottom, we have a great effort from Paul, with 20 points. I do wonder how it's possible to score so low, but somehow he managed to do it. Colin in 10th is the first with a decent score. Him and everyone above were most likely using the T technique I described. Blue Yak is just ahead in 9th. Mark and My Retro Tech are in the 400,000s. And then last season's top 2 are down in 5th and 6th. Robert is having a good first couple of games this season, having finished 2nd last time and now a solid 4th here. Bob likes a puzzle game, and he's finished in an excellent 3rd place, having led at one point. 2nd place is Retro Arcade Challenge, having spent a chunk of time this weekend. Winning this week though is our puzzle game specialist, and that's me, with 880,000. I've been leading for most of the 2 weeks, and after a bit of grind at the weekend, everything came together to nail the early stages for big points. A bit more practice, and I no doubt could have done more, but this was good enough for the win, where most other people were getting frustrated. Here is the distribution of the scores. Paul is excluded, as he'd be classed as an outlier. Usually we have something vaguely resembling a normal distribution, with a peak in the middle and tails in each direction. Here it is nothing like a normal distribution, reflecting that the scoring is highly unbalanced. Really, it's just 2 groups of scores, those below 300,000 and those above. Our top 6 are all in the top bin, showing it was fairly close to the top this week. Here is the difficulty curve. And again we have something a little different to usual. Steeper sections are usually those that are easier, and flatter sections of the curve more difficult. Here we can see getting middling scores are fairly easy, and then the more you score, the more difficult it is, which is what resulted in it being so tight at the top. Finally, the progress over the week. Early on, we can see me and Robert trading top spot. That was good fun, both gradually improving. Bob took top spot towards the end of the 2 weeks, before I took the lead for the final time, and Retro Arcade Challenge snuck ahead of him too. I thought we might see a final improvement from Robert, but it didn't materialise. We can see there is quite a bit of activity with people playing in the first few days, it being quiet in the middle and then picking up again towards the end. Now we've completed 2 games, we can see the first appearance of the league table. Our big move is a Retro Arcade Challenge up 7 after that great 2nd place, and me up to 2nd place overall after that win. Given we had a bit of a mixed up result, it's pretty close at the top. Bob and Jeff are tied on 100 points. Robert is just ahead on 120 in third. I'm now in second on 122 points. And just like normal, it's Graham at the top. But he's only 11 points ahead of me and 33 points ahead of Bob in fifth. So very much all to play for. Let's now see if our next game can mix things up further. So next up is a game beginning with the letter L. I've had 13 games sent to me, including 2 votes for Liquid Kids and a couple for Ladybug, which was my choice, so that gets 4 slots on the wheel. I do encourage creative interpretation of the letters, and Pingy, given he likes to play on original hardware, has a French language version of Gorf. So his entry is Le Gorf, which obviously begins with L. So let's set things going and see what we get. Okay, it's slowing down. Oh, could be Ladybug. Yeah, definitely Ladybug. Okay, cool. So that's my choice. Ladybug is a vertical kind of maze style game where you control a bug and you can change the shape of the maze with rotating kind of doors. So yeah, I think this will be a good one. Very classic game, which we've kind of maybe not had an old arcade game such as this. So yeah, I think it'll be good. So I'll go make a video and be back in a sec. So for the next 2 weeks, we'll be playing Ladybug, a maze game released by Universal in 1981. Universal tended to take inspiration from other successful games and then put their own spin on it. Mr. Do takes inspiration from Dig Dug, and here, Ladybug takes inspiration from Pac-Man. That's no bad thing, as like Pac-Man, this is a fun game to play. Unlike Pac-Man, you have the ability to change the shape of the maze, which adds an additional dynamic. Although I chose the game, I've not played it that much, but it's one I'd like to get into. You probably know I like a bit of Pengo, and there are some similarities here. We'll be playing the standard ladybug.zip with default settings of 3 lives and medium difficulty. For next time, please send me games beginning with the letter M. Taking a look, there are a lot of games beginning with the letter M. I'm tempted to go for Monkey Ball, one of my faves. So I hope you all enjoy playing some Ladybug, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks with the scores. See you then.